Hello, 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 and welcome back to Lotta. How you doing, Justin?
I am hanging in there. My stomach hurts, but that's nothing new.
You gonna be okay for this episode?
I was thinking about that before we started. I don't know, but there's no choice now. There's no option. Got to do it.
Probably by wondering, we're not doing anything like crazy. We're just doing mint-based products. So
Yes,
hopefully
yeah,
it'll
minty fresh.
agree with Justin's stomach.
Yeah, maybe it'll cool down my stomach. But speaking of things that are cool, I wanted to mention to you. I got an email the other day saying that we hit a new podcast milestone of 150 downloads or clicks or starts, however you want to say it.
Nice.
Right now, yeah. So thanks to the
Yeah.
people that have clicked 150 times, we're at a total of 154. And our top three countries are the U.S. with 66 of those clicks, listens, whatever. Germany in number 2, which again is weird, surprising, but thanks. In 12, and then Canada with 5. So yeah, I I assume that means it's starting to slowly grow.
Starting to get
And I
there.
think, yeah, let me just check. Our most popular episode, surprisingly, is our worst episode, the very first one,
I mean,
at
it makes
33.
sense. People probably start from the beginning.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I also just want to say that, through all of this, we were able to relatively get this off the ground pretty easily. When we first started, I was super kind of like, I don't want to say anxious, but at least a little bit like, how the heck are we going to start a podcast and get this going? But after doing a little bit of research, we realized there's a bunch of hosts out there, but we landed with Buzzsprout. I mean, they're like, I like it so far. It's pretty cool. I was able to see all those stats. With the click of a button, it's on pretty much every single major directory. That was like the number one thing I was wondering, like, how am I going to get this on Spotify and Apple Music and whatnot? All I got to, yeah, or whatever other major thing people use to listen. But all I did was like paste a link into the website, and the company's like, yeah, we got you, no problem. And within an hour, it was listed on all the stuff. Super cool platform. You've had a good experience too, I assume, right?
I mean,
As the co-host here.
it's super easy to use, and just getting us on the platforms relatively easy, no difficulties.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that that's their primary goal, is just getting you off the ground with your show super easily. So, I mean, if any of the people listening want to start your own show, and I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, barely no one listens to this, but thank you to the people that do. And we are losing money every time we do this, but I'm still having a blast. This is great. So I highly recommend starting a show. And if you want, I highly recommend using this platform, this host, Buzzsprout. There'll be a little link in the description. If you click the link, sign up. You guys, after 2 paid cycles, you guys will get a $20 gift card. We got our gift card, haven't used it yet, but they just give you a $20 Amazon gift card. So super cool. They seem really for person, not for profit. So yeah, highly recommend it. Check it out if you want. Link will be in the description. But with that, let's get into our minty desires.
Minty debaucheries.
Debaucheries.
So the first one we have is just the York peppermint patty. Something I imagine most people don't just go and buy necessarily, but probably have had because of mostly Halloween.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Actually, I got lucky. A majority of the candy I've already had in my house, and it was because of Halloween. So this was one of those. Yeah. So Nathan, not that it matters, but he has the York peppermint minis. I have a regular sized one.
I just wanted to get the smallest bag I could get.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think I've ever had one of these, if I'm honest. And if I have, it hasn't been in a while, so I don't remember what these taste like.
Rather than before. As a kid, not my favorite, but I definitely do not dislike them. I
Fair enough.
did definitely enjoy them.
Um. Interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think of it now?
So I feel relatively the same about it. I will say with the mini though, you do get a lot less of the mint flavor than you would
Is
with
that a
like
good
the
thing or a
reg-
bad thing?
I guess it depends on the person because this one, like, it's a small surface area, so it's more covered by the chocolate. It takes the chocolate more. And if you don't want like the full-on mint flavor, but still want something minty, this might be a good way to go.
So with the big one, it's the opposite. Definitely a lot of mint. Like that's the primary flavor that's coming through. I can barely
like
taste the chocolate.
White mint filling.
Mm-hmm. Kind of looks like coconut. It's weird.
Yeah, it does look kind of like coconut.
Yeah, it's okay. It's nothing crazy.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd eat it. It primarily just tastes like mint. If you're getting the big one, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
So, who would you put this on top of your list?
It's gonna have to be at the top of my list, man.
I would say so too. Definitely a strong contender for number one.
Yeah. I wonder why that is. What else is a strong contender for number one, though? Something that you recently just acquired.
That is true. So, when I moved back into the United States, I had my car shipped over. It's been, I want to say, about 6 months since I've last seen it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Just last week I was able to take the time off of work, go up to the port it was shipped at, and I was able to pick up my car, which is a 1996 Toyota Chaser JZX100.
Very fancy.
Yeah, 1JZ engine, has a nice little turbo on it. It's my car personally is mostly stock, so it's nothing too crazy, but it is a good platform to start working on and just build up from there to try and get it wherever I want to get it to.
Absolutely, and you got right-hand drive too, which is fancy.
Yeah, it's nice being at the 25 years. I don't have to switch it to left hand, and I was able to get by a lot of the EPA stuff, the environmental stuff, because it's at that 25-year mark.
Sure.
Made it a lot easier too. So,
What is the, well, at least from the factory, we might have lost a little bit through the years here, but what are the power figures? What are we looking at?
I don't remember the torque. I know the horsepower from factory, I believe, was 280 horsepower.
That's not bad.
No, it's not.
That's not
Makes
bad at all.
sense.
No.
So it's kind of like I see that now, and it just makes me look at that Toyota 86 and be like, man, if just put like a turbo on there or something, that thing would be amazing.
Like the old one or the new one?
The new one that they got now.
Oh, sure. Well, is the GR NA or turboed? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's still NA.
Well, let's take a quick look. GR86 NA or turbo. Do you want to tell the people while I look this up what happened, unfortunately, to your lovely looking car?
I'll say it. So while I was shipping on the truck, driving it over across the country from LA to the East Coast, I guess the wind or something broke the side panels on my body kit. So now both panels on the left and right side are all just fucked up and everything. And I went to a body shop, got a quote. Ended up being like 2.3K for repairs. So now I have to send that back to the company, and hopefully they will agree with that price and pay it back. Otherwise, I'll be a little bit upset.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, you're already upset.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I'm already upset because this is one of at least in my opinion, one of the nicer body kits you could get for this car. And hey, here goes the history. Just like that.
It's It's naturally aspirated. There's no turbo
Yeah, I
in the
didn't
GR.
think there was yet.
So the body kit that comes on your car is that like a factory thing? Is it like a were there different options back then? Like you could put it on, put it off, or is that like something aftermarket?
So I know there was some like factory options. I want to say this is one of them. Could also be something aftermarket, but I just know like I have not seen this body kit come up anywhere, so that's one of the reasons I'm a little disappointed that this happened at all. Because I know like
Of course.
finding the parts is likely not going to happen.
No,
At least at a reasonable
unfortunately. Yeah, and definitely not here too.
Yeah.
I mean, no way. You'd have to get them shipped. Geez, you'd have to get them shipped overseas, which of course it's gonna suck.
price. Yeah.
But yeah, we were waiting a long time to mention that Nathan has a car coming and he's
Yeah,
gonna get a
we were
car.
going to talk about it sooner, but I thought the car would get out here, or at least to me, a little bit quicker, but this and that
Sure.
came up, and so it took a little longer than I thought it would.
Sure, very, very, very fair. Plans for the future with it?
Real quick, fix the side skirts on it, the rockers.
Mm-hmm.
I want to upgrade the audio system. Then there are some
Okay.
parts a lot more rusted than I would have preferred. So it's nothing crazy though. Its parts would be fairly easy to replace, and they're parts I would have wanted to replace anyways. So try and get those replaced.
Okay. You said rust?
Yeah, I mean, trying to find
Okay,
the old
okay.
car, so can't be
Yeah,
too
yeah.
upset about a little bit of rust.
No.
But everything else, like the transmission, the engine, it's all in good condition. So, and for the most part, the interior is really much intact.
That's very
Can't
good.
think of too many problems with the interior, so that's nice.
Yeah, you can't say that for every 25-year-old car, so.
Yeah, so it's just have to be taken care of.
Very good. Any, wheels, extra stuff for the body kits, power stuff?
Not anytime soon, I imagine, just based off of budget and time.
Inflation, too, isn't it great?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think just about picked up the car at a good time. The Toyota Chaser is still a little bit under the radar for most people.
I would definitely say so. I never heard about it until you said you were buying
I
one.
know Donut Media has the Up for Speed for that, so that's a good
Okay,
video to go check
that's
out
awesome.
if you want to see the history a little bit.
Okay. Very good. Well, yeah, I'm very happy you got it. I look forward to seeing it and giving it a quick little spin one day.
Yeah, no, definitely when you get the chance to meet up again. Do a little bit of a
Yes,
drive.
please. Yes, I look
That
very
being
much
said,
forward to
I know
seeing
you
it.
talked a bit about your car, but is there anything you want to think about your car as well?
Well, I drive a 2002 Toyota Prius. No, I'm just kidding. It's LS swapped. No, I'm just kidding. I drive a 2019 Fiesta ST. It's stock completely except for the wheels. Just got like a month ago now, maybe. Got a set of gold 1552 Turbo Max to fit in with the whole, rally car thing. I got the 2019, for those that don't know, is the very last model year of the Fiesta ST. So in 2018, Ford was, on the verge of getting rid of all of their cars. And one of the first things they decided to get rid of was the Focus ST and the Fiesta ST. But people were really, really, really adamant about the Fiesta staying. I don't know why they weren't as adamant about the Focus, because that's also a fantastic
Yeah,
car. I've
definitely
driven
like
that
the
around a
Focus.
track. And I have to say, around a track, like a traditional racing track, that's, I would say, better. It
Yeah.
felt better. For autocross, my car any day of the week. But track, I really, really, really like the Focus. But that's besides the point. I don't know why people didn't fight as hard for the Focus, but they fought really hard for the Fiesta. And Ford was like, sure, why not? I don't think they did it for the community. I think they did it because they had a fuck ton of like the Fiesta ST body kits lying around, and they didn't want to just landfill them. So they're like, I guess we'll just make more cars for one more year. So I was thankfully able to snatch it up. I had to drive 3 hours out of my way. I had to go to Virginia to buy it because to spec it out, you couldn't spec them out anymore. You know, all the cars that existed are out. They were all made already. You just had to go out and find one. You couldn't like build one and have it shipped to a dealership. So the car that had pretty much everything I wanted in it, the closest one was in Virginia at a dealership called Coons Ford. Great name. Definitely not a bad word whatsoever. But yeah, it was a terrifying drive home. I'll say that much because, you know, brand new car and I don't know what I was doing, but I love it. I don't regret the purchase whatsoever. I love the car. I have a thing for small hot hatches. It's my thing. That's why I'm really, really sad we're not getting the GR Yaris, because I would have. I have no intentions on ever selling or trading in this car. But if that car came to the States, I'd probably trade in my car for that. That thing's nuts. But no, I plan to keep this thing till the day I die. I'm sure people down the line, family members, will most likely inherit it. I have no intentions of getting rid of it. It's a lot of fun. Surprisingly more powerful than everyone's surprised. I'm still surprised myself when I floor it. Like, really? Wow, that's crazy. As for plans, I have the wheels. For Christmas, I got Rally Armor mud flaps and a little wing riser to make the stock wing be pushed up a little bit, you know, so it looks like it's at an angle. For power, I have the extended warranty, so I can't really do much. But things that come up on my mind, I want to get at least just a basic off-the-shelf tune, along with like a Cobb access port, air stuff, you know, intakes and whatnot, rear motor mount, maybe a short shifter. I don't know. I'm probably not going to mess with the suspension at all because I think the stock suspension is fantastic. I also don't like lowering my cars, especially on New Jersey roads. That's a death sentence. I don't know why people lower their cars in this state. Outside of that, nothing crazy. Oh, exhaust at some point too, but this is all far in the future because, again, extended warranty. But yeah, I love it. I love the car. It's fantastic, and it's great at autocross. So I'm looking forward to doing that again when the spring rolls around. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about our cars again later, but for now, I have something else I want to talk about, Justin.
What's that?
There's a little mint over here. An Andes mint.
Oh, they're classic. I love the Andes mint.
Like what was the restaurant you said?
They are the Olive Garden mint.
Olive Garden mint. I remember being at school lunch one day and I saw like you had them, and I was like, how often does this family go to like Olive Garden a lot or something? That they just have handfuls of extras to keep throwing into his lunch every day.
So, the way it worked was every time we'd go to Olive Garden, and we still do this, we'd always ask for extra mints because they're delicious. And if you were lucky, the waiter or waitress would bring out like a bucket full of them, and we'd just save them and eat them because, you know, at the time we didn't know that you could just buy these. They're called Andes mints. Until we stumbled upon them by accident one day, and we're like, whoa, wait a minute, these are literally the same mints. This is crazy. And then, you know, our worlds were blown. And we don't necessarily do that all the time. Well, I guess actually we just still do. I just contradicted myself. We still do, but it's not like as magical, I guess, because we have the Andes, which I'm happy. I'm happy I have now a literal endless supply I could buy. What do you think of the taste? I just popped like 2 in my mouth. I'm probably pop like 5 more.
I need a second one right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't have as strong mint taste as I remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you think, though?
Oh, honestly, it's delicious, like you said.
Yeah, I think
do enjoy them.
I don't want to. I don't want to say the P word, but I think they might be perfect. Like, just the right amount of mint, just the right amount of chocolate. I taste both 50-50 evenly, and I could eat like 7 boxes of these and never get
Oh,
sick of them. They're just
yeah, I feel like I really
delicious.
didn't get sick of these. I think the reason I don't have as strong of a mint taste from this because the York is like super minty, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, one little thing to note. I don't know why they do this, but the Olive Garden mint, I know why they do this. They have their own custom wrapper, of course.
Yeah.
I know why they do that because it's Olive Garden. But the mint is cut in half. So when you get the Andes mint retail, it's chocolate, mint, chocolate. But when you go to Olive Garden, it's chocolate, mint. There's no
That
extra
is
layer
true,
of
yeah.
chocolate. And it's still,
It's very
they still
aesthetic.
somehow, yeah, I guess so. They still somehow taste the same without that extra layer of chocolate. It's still oddly the same taste, but yeah, they do that. So I'm gonna put these at number one, and I have a sneaking suspicion that's where they're cemented, but we'll see.
For now, I'm gonna put them at number one as well. It did have a nice balance. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's
good.
just you can't go wrong with the default Andes mints. And they do have a bunch of other flavors, but we'll get more into that later.
Um,
But something else I think we really want to get into is underrated games, underrated video games.
yes. We both have a list of games we'll try and get through right now.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna start this one off because I accidentally I was writing my list down before we started recruiting, and I accidentally said this one out loud.
Yeah, I really wish you did, man. I
'Cause
really
I
wanted to
feel
be
like
surprised.
this would be a good one. But I'm gonna say Cyberpunk. I feel like I know it's popular. I know it does
Okay.
have an audience, but I do feel like there's also a general look of the game as kind of just like a failure because of how bad it was at launch.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a good amount of people that still, despite the glitches and stuff, did not think the game lived up to their expectations. Beyond
Expectation.
like the story, I don't think I've heard many people say anything bad about the story though. I think that was one of the bright spots for the game at least.
So what was your personal opinions on it before I go into mine?
I enjoyed it. I was expecting just something a little more out of it, not a lot more, but
Yeah.
it's coming from CD Project Red. I knew how
Yeah.
great of a job they did with The Witcher, especially The
Mhm.
Witcher 3. So I don't know, it's just because it's like a space age type of thing. A lot of the game kind of just felt like a lot of other sci-fi open world games to me. But you
Yeah.
got to speak with the Keanu Reeves, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have a weird timeline with this game because, like, when it first came out, I was crushed like everyone else. Like, the first day or two of playing it, I was like, man, this fucking sucks. This is a terrible game. I can't believe they did this. Um, blah, blah, blah. Every game release is half finished nowadays. That's a chat for another time.
Yeah.
But, like, this game, it was in development for 7 years. Come on, bro. What were they doing? And I'm still not going to excuse them. They could release 5 years from now, they could get rid of every single bug and make the game quote unquote flawless. I'm never going to forgive them. I think what they did is borderline illegal and very shitty and scummy. But day two, for whatever reason, the disappointment switch flipped off. I was like, I'm having a blast right now. This is by no means, again, I still think the game is trash. I don't think it's a good game whatsoever. I had an absolute fantastic time. I have 81 hours clocked in that game. I did a unusual amount of side content. I just couldn't stop playing it. It was a lot of fun.
Cool, fun things to do on the side.
Yeah, and I think it has, not to cut you off, I think it has one of the, like, most, to me at least, accurate representations of a massive city in a video game. It's a fantastic city to walk around. I feel like every city in a video game, it's all grids, you know?
Yeah.
And that's true. A lot of cities are grids, but when you're driving through a city and when you're walking through a city in real life, you don't feel like all you're doing is taking 90-degree left turns, or 90-degree left and right turns every block. It feels like you're in a literal maze, and that's what this city was. It was just a mishmash of architecture and paths and alleyways and elevation. It was nuts. I could walk. I kind of just want to walk around this. I want to reinstall it and walk around the city. It was great. I will give them credit. The Night City was fantastic.
Not to get distracted on this one game too much, but I will say, I was surprised people were not expecting the game to be broken like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was expecting it, not to the point where they had to stop selling it on PlayStation Network. I didn't think the game would
Yeah, it was crazy.
be that bad, but
Yeah.
I could kind of just tell that the game was uncompleted and that really the
Yeah. No,
developers,
it definitely. Yep.
if they could have had their way, would probably have been like, yeah, no, we're actually going to release this game in like another 2 years from now. But there was
There was
just,
definitely some red
I
flags.
feel like there was just at the time such a hyperbole of like, I guess, hype for the game that if they did that, the game would kind of just die.
Yeah.
That's how I felt
Yeah.
about it. And I was like, market rise, like you kind of just have to sell it now at this point.
Yeah. I
So
get it.
it's a
I
tough
understand.
situation. I'm still waiting for them to fix the game to the point where I imagine the first DLC that comes out for the game will end up being free. Just to try and get people back into the game before they start selling actual DLC for the game. But I do
Sure.
look forward to seeing what type of DLC is coming for the game.
Yeah, same. And if they ever pull off the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But on to the next one. So my first pick, these are in no particular order or anything, is the original Mirror's Edge.
Ooh.
It's definitely gotten a little bit more notoriety in the past few years with the release of Catalyst. People were like, actually, first game's great. This one sucks.
Yeah.
But that's a different game. I'm not going to go on
Yeah.
about that. The original one is... I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's fantastic. There's no other game like it. You
There's
literally
really not.
can't... No. I mean, I can't even think of another game outside of Dying Light that has parkour. And no one has ever done it the way that Mirror's Edge 1 has done it. It feels amazing
feels
to
good.
play. Yeah, even Dying Light 2, which is arguably a bit better than 1 in terms of the feel of the parkour, can't nail it. 1 is... It's perfect. I don't know how they did it. It's lightning in a bottle. They got it perfect. It was so much fun. It is so much fun. It's still a blast to play. It looks incredible. It sounds incredible. The game holds up magnificent. I can't speak. It holds up very well. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend doing it, but not a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah.
When it came out, it got pretty reviews. It wasn't like bad or good. It was just very much in the middle between critics and people.
For me, that's kind of weird because I felt like, at least on release, the game was fairly popular, at least
Really?
fan base. But then, like, it kind of just went to the wayside. Was not really talked about
very
too
quickly.
much.
No.
Then the second
No.
one came out, and I felt like there was you got an appreciation for the first game again.
Absolutely.
But then, yeah, people didn't like the second one. Second one never really took off. So
Yep.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a shame, but
I enjoy the game.
it's still
It's
out
fun.
there. Yeah, it's still easy to find, easy to play. It's not like incredibly long, too. You can finish it in a day if you want. Try it. I highly recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. It's great. Moving on.
So I'll go on to my second game. I'm gonna go with the Mad Max game.
I was thinking about putting that down. I was really thinking about putting that down. Interesting.
I was pleasantly surprised by this game.
Same. Yeah, we've had this conversation multiple times,
'Cause,
too.
like, I just was like, oh, there's some weird Mad Max things coming out. It's one of those, like, movie games. It's not gonna be that great or anything. And I will give it this, it is pretty much just like playing one of those Batman games. But it works for the game. Like, it feels like Mad Max.
Yeah, no, it works.
You were literally just Mad Max.
Yeah,
Just
you're Mad Max.
driving around and like.
The game really makes you feel like Mad Max. Yeah, no, it's great.
But you drive around in like an open desert with nothing, but like it doesn't feel like there's nothing there.
No, yeah, it's literally the most empty and barren open world map, but at the same time, I have, let's see, I don't have a crazy amount of hours clocked on it. I have Mad Max. I have about 30.1 hours on it, and I still haven't finished the story because I keep getting distracted with
There's
little
just so
things
much
to do.
stuff happening on like the side. Like,
I know.
go take a base, go beat this dude in a car death race thing, and it's fun.
It's so much fun. Yeah, you remember how we bought it
Yeah.
too? It was underrated before it came out. We got this game on G2A, which is like a morally gray video game key site. A $60 game, we got it for like $30
We got it
before
for,
it
like,
even came out.
$20, which is why we were like,
Oh, you're right.
like, you were just looking at it like, hey, you know what, for $20, like, whatever, I'll buy the game for $20. Why not?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you could.
it
just
was
get the game
underrated
for,
before
like,
it came out.
$20, I think. At least
Yeah, it's
on
cheap
every
now.
Steam sale at the very least, it'll be like probably $15 or something. But I think
Yeah.
it's worth the money. There's a lot of things to do in the game. I will admit it probably
Yep.
does get repetitive if you try to get through everything, but it's still fun.
Yeah, I mean the way I'm playing it, I pick it up like for like a 4 to 8 hour session once every like 5 months. I'm playing it really slow, but every time I do, I have nothing but a blast, and it's a gorgeous game too. It looks beautiful.
And then
Yeah.
move on. Let's do one more game for you before we move on.
All right. All right, I'll just go down the list then. I'll do the next one. So my next game would be Metal Gear Revengeance, the spin-off game made by Platinum Games, the people that made Nier Automata. It's not underrated in terms of like niche communities, like a quote-unquote underground. I don't know how to say it. It has a big cult following, but I guess in the general sense, no one talks about it. I don't think anyone's really played it. How do I describe it? If you went into the dictionary and looked up the definition for the word hype, you'd see the cover of this game. It's the most serotonin, adrenaline, hype-filled 4-hour campaign that you'll literally ever experience. Like, if you're tired and you're like into energy drinks or something, don't take the energy drink. Just play through this campaign. I promise you, by the end of the 4 hours, your eyes are going to be wide open. You're going to be like, "Woo, let's go!" It's so much fun. There's no other game that gives off the feeling of adrenaline that this one does. It's nuts, from the cheesy cutscenes and acting with the crazy characters to the explosions and gore-filled combat where you could literally slow down time and cut people up into little... You could cut pretty much any piece in the environment up into little pieces. Rip people's spines out and break them for energy, all while this like crazy like techno-fueled rock plays in the background. It's nuts. It's so much fun. I cannot recommend it enough. If you want an action-packed experience from start to finish, please play that game, and you can get it for pennies at this point, and there'll most likely never ever be a sequel, so I would definitely play it, so you could join the club of losers that are really sad like me about that fact. But yeah, definitely check it out. Super fun, super great.
That is actually a game I have not played from the listing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, surprised I have not played that one. So
I
that's something
recommend it.
I'll have to try out. Yeah.
Yes.
Moving on to other things we have to try out.
Yeah.
The next mint-based little candy we have here is a Kit Kat Duos mint plus dark chocolate.
Excuse me. Yeah. I've never had this
I've
before.
never had it before either. See if I can get a nice little snap on the microphone. I did not.
Yeah, I dropped mine, so they're snapped already, so I'm struggling to get this out of the package. Well, that's a snap, I guess. I don't want this much candy, but whatever.
It's got that Kit Kat taste.
What are your thoughts?
Like, it's not bad. It's good. I would never
Yeah.
recommend eating this. I mean, even that sheet decide like, hey, last time I had it was pretty good. I won't get it again this time just to get something different. But it does, looking at how green it is, it does kind of just remind me of the green tea Kit Kats. And I don't really like tea, or like green tea or anything. The green tea Kit Kats, there's just something about it. They're kind of addicting. So just looking at this makes me kind of wish I was eating a green tea Kit Kat instead.
I have never had those.
Yeah.
But I hear good things about them.
Well, you see it, pick it up. But anyways, back to the mint one.
So, yeah, it's okay. I think I prefer the regular Kit Kat more.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's not bad. I didn't really like it on the first bite, but as I ate it more, I liked it.
Kit Kats are just generally pretty good. It's hard to go wrong with them.
I agree.
So who would you put this on your list?
Number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, yeah, I guess right now I would also say number 2, just the Andy. Number 1, if I'm being honest, didn't expect it to still be there.
Really?
Yeah. But it was just better. And then
Yeah.
the Kit Kat one, number 2, it just has a fair balance to it, I guess. And it's a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Then 3, the Yerk peppermint patty. Like I said, most people I don't see just go around and decide like, hey, I'm gonna go buy Yerk peppermint patties because I like it that much.
Yeah, I don't know anyone like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so we have the same list so far.
Yep.
Okay, very good.
Moving on.
Another thing that, you could have a list on is this website called Amazon, and it's run by this beautiful bald man named Jeff Bezos. So let's talk about him for a little bit.
Yeah, he has his super yacht from the Netherlands.
Yes, so give the little backstory. What's going on? It's not built yet, right?
They're, at least from last time I checked, looking at this article that I pulled up real fast, Jeff Bezos is making a super yacht near Rotterdam, Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with this super yacht is when they try to get it out, there's this historic bridge. The name, the Koningshaven Bridge, historic bridge.
Okay.
Looking at the picture, I feel like I've seen the bridge before, but it just can't.
Okay.
The super yacht can't get out of the dock under the bridge, so they're trying to figure out if, like, all right, do we just rebuild the super yacht somewhere, or do we rebuild this bridge, or like take it down real fast to get the super yacht out or something?
Yeah. According to this one article, it says that they're going to dismantle the bridge so it could pass, which I think is not the right move.
Probably gonna do that, but for I'll be admit, I did listen to a podcast, Behind the Bastards. They did a 2-part series on Jeff Bezos. I listened to that, think they were just speaking about Amazon, but it was mostly, well, after listening to it, I now know they were speaking about the founder, Jeff Bezos. And after getting the information I got from that, it makes me think that I really would not be surprised if Jeff Bezos knew that this problem would come up, and he did it as just like a way to be like, oh no, my giant super yacht is just too big, right, guys? Like,
Yeah.
how cool is that?
Yeah,
And
no,
then he'll
I
go
agree.
talk to people, and he'll probably just have a laugh about it. He's kind of
Yeah.
seems like that type of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, there's no way that he didn't know. And also, I mean, I'm sure, like, if people actually listen to the show, I would get roasted for the comment I'm about to make because it's probably stupid. But couldn't you just, like, build the yacht minus the masts, tow it out through the bridge, and then put the masts on? I feel
It
like
looks
that
like
that
the
doesn't sound
looks like the yacht's
impossible.
too wide to get through the bridge.
Hold on. We'll need to pass. So according to this article, it says there's only one problem. The mega yacht has 3 masts,
No.
and the masts are too tall to pass underneath the bridge. So I don't know if it's
I mean, it
too
could be a
wide or if it's too tall, or if it's both.
It's probably what the article said. Well, it's like a Jeff Bezos thing to like move the bridge.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. There's no way. But okay, if we're playing, let me play devil's advocate here. Why is there this bridge here anyway? Like, yeah, I know that 99% of ships can pass through it probably with no problem, I'm assuming. But if your port is big enough to build a continent-sized yacht, you bet your ass someone at some point is going to come there and build a supersized continent yacht. So why do you still have this bridge? Yeah, it's historic, but I mean, you should expect a problem like this. If we're being honest, I feel like, again, could be an idiot for saying that, but I feel like, this is a situation that
I mean,
was going to happen at some point.
I get what you're saying. At least with being the devil's advocate, but the situation hasn't come up before. The bridge has been there for a while.
Sure.
Probably weren't expecting something like this to come up.
Sure.
And yeah, I mean, like, it's a bridge. Just 'cause it's going to be there so people can get past.
Sure. Actually, I just think the Dutch are wrong and Jeff Bezos is in the right, and they should just tear down the bridge. And please sponsor this. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it's a weird scenario. I have mixed feelings about the whole thing, of course.
Yeah.
But he's probably just doing it to showboat his boat.
Yeah.
I also saw another article that said, like, when it passes under the bridge, or however, when it passes by, they're going to throw eggs at it. The Dutch are going to line up and just throw eggs at the boat.
Actually, yeah, Jeff Bezos would be probably really mad about that, though. Not
Probably,
that
and
there's
you probably have him
anything he
killed.
can do about it, but
I mean, he
for
could just have him killed.
by like his Amazon games, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So that'll be interesting. He's also, he's just a weird guy.
Yeah, he really, something? There's 2 things I got from the podcast from Behind the Bastards when they spoke about him. There were 2 facts about him that really stuck with me because I thought they were just weird, but like also interesting.
Go on.
One, his biological dad has really no vested interest in him, and
Really?
yeah, he left him at a young age. I think around 4 or 5 or something. His biological dad left his mom and him, but he left because his biological dad was just so passionate about the unicycle that he just had to go out and try to become like a world famous unicyclist, like try and get on the Ed Sullivan show for being so good at riding the unicycle. That is just weird. Like, what? A unicycle? Like, why couldn't he just be like a bad dude and be like, yeah, I don't feel like having a kid or a wife right now. No, he had to for the unicycle.
Okay.
But,
That's a new one. What were some of the other ones?
Also, before I move on to the next one, something I don't feel bad about. Jeff Bezos, I probably doesn't care too much for his biological dad. Left him, but also his biological dad does not seem like the type of person to take advantage of him. Not that Jeff would let him, but I think somebody found the dad, interviewed him in I think somewhere from 2014 to 2017 in that time span. And they were like, hey, your son Jeff Bezos, right? And he was like, yeah, no, I don't remember who that is. He's Jeff Bezos. So he didn't even realize his son was CEO of Amazon.
That's crazy. Imagine using a service and your son's the CEO of it.
Right.
That's woo.
Then another thing about Jeff Bezos, the second fact I thought was paints him as weird, but it's just an interesting fact that Jeff Bezos just does not get music.
In what way?
He just doesn't understand it, doesn't know why people like it or listen to it.
Seriously?
Yeah, in high school, he kind of realized oh man, if I don't like music, this is probably something I'll get bullied for. Which I can't blame him for that, because as a kid, you don't want to get bullied. But his result to try and combat that was he would learn the call-in numbers for popular radio stations. Which I thought was weird. Why not just learn the name of popular songs and bands? Why the call-in number for radio stations?
That's weird.
And then then when 9/11 happened, him and his team were on a road trip. They hear about the news and to try and calm people down. When they stopped at a gas station, he went inside, spot a random assortment of CDs and was like, "Hey guys, look, music. People like music, right? So here you go." Yeah.
I'm confused. Wait, so who was he talking to when he pointed out the CDs?
Look, so like I said, he and his team, they were just on a business trip, just driving through on I think a bus or something. And when they
so he's trying to calm down his team?
Yeah, because 9/11 just happened, and he's like, all right, it's a little bit tense right now. Since we're here at this gas station, let me go inside. And I guess he saw CDs, and he was like, oh, let me just buy a bunch of these for my team so they can have music or something.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's
oddly innocent but very weird.
Yeah, I don't understand how somebody just does not like music, or just have such a disinterest in music, I guess.
Yeah, it's one thing literally
to have something happen if you just don't like music, but to just naturally have
no interest,
such a strong disinterest in it is kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's built into our DNA.
Yeah, so I don't get that.
Nope, I don't get it either. He also made William Shatner look like an idiot. So, weird guy.
Yeah.
Weird guy. But yeah, if you want to give us some money for the podcast, yeah, for sure.
Kind of dope.
No problem. Yep.
But anyways, moving on to the next theme for the podcast, and this mint product.
Yeah, the last one.
So we have different things for our last one.
Yes, we do.
Match up on it.
We could not.
So
what do you have?
I found a Dove dark chocolate and mint swirl.
Okay.
And you have.
And I have Andy's mints, the same ones from before, but in toffee crunch flavor.
Sounds
Like I mentioned before, they have a bunch of flavors, kind of like Kit Kat. They have like cookies and cream, peppermint, toffee. I don't know what the other ones are, but all right, here we go. So,
how was it?
really good. However, it's not a mint.
Yeah.
There's no mint in this. It's just toffee crunch.
Okay. That's
So,
interesting.
I can't compare it to the other mints,
Yeah.
but as a candy, it's great. It tastes great.
Yeah, I do want to try that. So.
Huh. All right. Well, I guess then, literally, if I'm to be a good boy, this would be at the bottom of my list. But if I'm to be a bad boy, I'd place this in the number 2 slot, even though it's not a mint.
Okay.
And you?
So this dough has like a chocolate. It's very good, but
Okay.
it didn't really have like a super minty taste. So that's kind of up to you how minty you want to be.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It looks very appetizing.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you put it?
Yeah, I'd probably put it number 1.
Number 1. Whoa.
Yeah, I would think this is what I would most likely end up buying again.
Okay.
Sorry to say, but yeah, this would be my number 1.
There. So what's your
The Andes
final?
at number 2. Kit
Okay.
Kat number 3, and then the Gurk at the bottom of the list.
The peppermint patty one. Peppermint idiot. Okay, so I'm just gonna break the rules. I don't really care. So Andy's takes the first and second place. Andy Mint being number 1. Andy Toffee Crunch Thin being number 2. Kit Kat number 3. And York number 4.
Okay. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Gurk is just something.
Yeah, it's,
I don't know,
it's whatever.
Just goes down and gets that. The Andes is good. You always look forward to them after the dinner.
Oh yeah.
Kit Kat wasn't bad though.
Oh, yeah.
I did enjoy the Kit Kat.
Yeah, it was alright. It was not bad. But speaking of dinner, some things that you can eat for dinner are things from China. And in China,
like
they make food.
Chinese food?
That's what they call it?
Yes.
You're so smart.
So I guess Chinese food is a broad way to look at it, with like Chinese takeout, and then go like a Chinese restaurant, maybe eat like Chinese food like that. But for now, let's just talk about Chinese takeout. What would you say your go-to order for Chinese takeout is?
So, I'm in a weird predicament because I don't eat too much Chinese takeout, and when I do, it's usually already ordered, or I'm having like someone else's food that they don't want, and I don't know what the name is. So what I will say is that whenever I'm gonna order, if I'm ordering for myself, I'm always getting an order of dumplings. Pork dumplings, not fried, boiled. I
Yeah, they're good.
don't think a fried dumpling would be that great. Yeah, I could live on boiled pork dumplings for the rest of my life. They are. And the soy sauce or Szechuan sauce, whatever you want to call it, I could drink it. I actually have, and it's not as good drinking it as it is dumping it, or, dumping your food in it.
A little salty.
Yeah, I definitely recommend just dumping your food in it, but if you want, you could drink it. It's a thing. So yeah, I'll definitely get dumplings. And then personally, I usually gravitate towards the chicken dishes.
Yeah.
Again, I can't give you any names, but whatever the little Chinese women that have at the mall that like we mentioned before that have the platters of
You
free
mean like the
chicken. Every time
orange
I've tried the
chicken or
free,
like the teriyaki chicken?
yeah, I guess whatever chicken they always usually offer for free, I love.
Yeah.
So I usually can't go wrong with the chicken dishes. Orange chicken I can say is good. I do like me some orange chicken. I don't really ever usually do noodles or anything like that,
That's
and
fair.
I'm not a big rice fan from Chinese restaurants
Oh.
because every time I eat rice from so I don't just eat white rice. I know, sue me, whatever. I just don't like the way plain white rice tastes. You got to do something with the rice for me, you know, like fry it or
Yeah.
put stuff in it, whatever.
Make a
And
shrimp
I'll have
fry.
some of their, yeah, something. I'll have their fried rice, but it's just not the same as hibachi fried rice, which is, you know, other spectrum of food. But every time I eat Chinese fried rice, I'm just like, I could be eating, in my own opinion, better fried rice. So never really get too excited with the rice dishes.
I
But
suppose so. You could
yeah.
probably say that for most things that come from Chinese takeout.
Sure. What about you?
For me, I guess my main standard would be like one of those dinner or lunch platter things. I like to get the chicken and broccoli with the pork fried rice.
Okay.
That's my favorite. But other things I like to get is the sweet and sour chickens.
Sure.
Like just eating chicken nugget, but they're good. I also do like I could eat just like a quart of like the little pork fried rice. Honestly, it's
Hell
I
yeah.
really like that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, speaking of court, wonton soup. How can I forget?
Oh yeah, the wonton soup.
And the dried noodles that come with them.
Oh
I could
yeah,
eat.
those things are
that-
delicious. As a kid, me and my
Oh,
sister
so
would just
good.
eat that like chips.
I know
Yeah.
they're so good.
So good.
I don't get it. So the last time I got Chinese takeout actually was a somewhat not great experience for me. They messed up my order. Instead of chicken, they gave me shrimp,
Yeah.
which I'm not the hugest fan of shrimp. If it's grilled and I have it fresh off the grill right there, it's pretty good. But like if it's sitting in a box for a little bit,
Yeah. I could see
anyway. Oh, also the shrimp are really big. They reminded me of the shrimp in Really Big Shrimp, the Drake and Josh
just thinking
special.
about
Like
that.
they were really big shrimp, man. Like unironically, not to make that joke, they were really big. It was crazy. They had some GMOs in them. But that's besides the point. When we were there, I was with my girlfriend and she was like, "Oh, I got to get the iced tea." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Iced tea, it's iced tea." And she's like, "You don't know about the Chinese restaurant iced tea?" I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And she's like, she said, apparently, like, you know, majority of these Chinese takeout places, they make their own iced tea. And they usually put it in the cooler with, like, the Pepsis and the cans and the bottles. And it comes in, like, the wonton soup container. And it's, like, sweeter than any southern sweet tea I think I've ever had. It's delicious if you're into that kind of thing. If you're into really sweet iced tea, it's great. I didn't know they did that. I didn't know that was a common theme between Chinese restaurants because I think we mentioned this in the mall episode. The Chinese takeout places in the mall are literally all the same, and all the Chinese takeout restaurants outside of malls are literally
They're
all
just
the same.
thing.
It's just Control C, Control V. It's crazy. The layout, the menu, the placement of the cooler for the drinks. It's nuts. So yeah, I found out that they make iced tea. So check that out. You know, next time you go, I guess. What about fortune cookies? You big fortune cookie guy?
Big
Or?
fortune cookies. Some other things I didn't mention was like the General Tso's chicken is good too.
That's a classic.
Oh yeah, and the egg rolls. Gotta get the egg roll.
What do you get in your egg rolls?
I just order egg roll. Just get whatever I get.
Okay, what usually comes in an egg roll?
So like
Because I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't really know either. I know it's got like the veggies in it. I guess like some type of cabbage and carrots sometimes.
Are they all vegetable? Is there?
No, I know like
I was
there
under the
are
impression-
places that They do
meat?
have like a. Oh yeah, usually there'll be like a meat in there as well. But I know there are places that will have like a variety of like, hey, we got like a shrimp egg roll or like a pork egg roll or something. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah, I like Chinese takeout. I'd get it as a kid too. It was cool. Get my favorite Chinese
Yeah,
food and
can't
stuff.
can't really go wrong. The Chinese restaurant in town, I think, is still there. Uh,
Leaf so
you
as
know, I
well.
mean, these restaurants. Okay, this is another weird thing. I've never seen a new Chinese takeout restaurant open, ever, because they already exist and they've existed before the universe was born. Like they've just been there since the start of time, and you never
Oh,
see new ones pop
yeah.
up. They're just
I feel
there.
like I've only ever seen one new one pop up. Yeah,
Really?
only ever one. I think I've seen a
Wow.
few close.
Where would? Oh, I've never even seen them close. Where'd you see one pop up?
I think it was somewhere in like a town when I was growing up as a kid, and we saw it and ordered there a couple times. Or maybe they just
Sure.
remodeled actually.
Maybe.
Can't remember.
Who knows?
It was
But
something like
yeah,
that.
their ability to not go anywhere should speak to
Yeah.
the quality of the stuff. It's usually good
Yeah.
for the most part. It's a good 80% chance that the food's going to be enjoyable. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have anything
Yeah, I
else
don't
to
have
say
too much
about
else to say on this one.
anything. All right. Well, I guess was this what episode 8 on the count up
This
for
episode
Elon Musk?
9 on the count up.
Oh wow, I've lost track. So hopefully by next episode he'll be on. A couple things to mention, just to rehash some stuff that's already been said in the past. Again, click the link in the description if you're interested in starting your own show. I highly recommend using the hosts that we're using. Fantastic platform, and it's super simple. I'll also, I guess I said I'm going to stick by what I said. I said I wasn't going to link my YouTube stuff anymore, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about it. That video that I mentioned.
You posted a video. Probably post a link to that as well. May as well.
Yeah, I guess. Why not? I'm only hurting myself by not putting it in. The video I said that I was going to post is up, so please watch it. Please. Please watch it. Check out my channel if you want, watch stuff, please. That'd be great. That'd make me feel nice. And then lastly, you have an announcement to make.
Oh. So, in the next few weeks or so, I'll be heading out on a business trip. So I will not be here for the podcast for a few episodes. I don't know how long I'll be on for, but I will be away. So.
Yeah. He's actually just going to go fight zombies. Yeah. He doesn't want to admit it, but he's getting sent away to some secret mission.
Into the Nazi zombie fighting ring.
Yeah.
They have to debug it now, so.
Nice. Yeah, so we'll figure out what we're going to do when he's gone. If for whatever reason his trip lasts longer than we expect, we can figure something out and craft an episode somehow, whether it be, I don't know, I don't want to do it by myself, but I guess that's an option. But I'm sure he'll have internet wherever he's going, so we can always
if the internet's
crank something out.
Good enough, I'll try and film a few episodes.
Sure. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We don't want to just stop, but there's going to be some delay. So for the 12 people that listen in Germany, just a heads up, and everyone else that apparently listens, thanks. Yeah, I guess that's it. Have a good one, and we'll see you when we see you next time.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.
See ya.